using you guys on my couch, but it's a tough one, obviously, man. Hard-fought game. Had an opportunity to win. Obviously, we got to play better on third down on both sides of the ball. That was the story. When you talk about stats, because if you click off a couple of those third downs, you're able to make them manageable and get those things done. That allow you to get a couple more run attempts versus a very hard running team. And that'll get you close to the area where you want to be. 25 runs, hopefully somewhere in the 101, 100-yard rushing, and if you pop a big one, great. If you don't, you just make it manageable for your guys to be able to maintain being able to run the ball so you can keep some of the balance there. And it was heading in that direction. We just got to be able to get some of those things better on third down. In the second half, what we did well was we made those third downs manageable to be able to go for it on fourth down. So because we had to be aggressive there to try to get some of those things going. Got 2 big-time fourth down conversions in the red zone, which is awesome. And then on defense, we had a couple that you want to win. And we had some winnable third downs on defense, particularly early in that first half on the third and I don't know exactly what they were, but 10, let's just say third and long situations where we can get off the grass there. And you get off the grass there, you get offensive more chances, and you stop those guys from going on those live drives, putting up 21 points, hopefully hold them to field goal at the very worst case scenario and give you a chance to win that game that way. Then at the end of the day, you got to make that kick and give yourself a chance, and that, that's the game.
Start with the. I know you've had more chance to go back and take the alleged snap or simulation.
So
did you get a chance to look at it more? Did you see anything different?
So this wasn't a look at. This was our players telling us that they simulated a snap out there and they heard something, and obviously they did. That's why he snapped it. But it was, again, this was no intent that they did anything wrong. There was no intent that those guys did anything wrong. We're just telling what happened when I was asked why the ball was snapped early. It was snapped early for our fault. It was on us. We got to find a way if the ball gets snapped early to try to get intentional ground into the right guy. Obviously hard with a free unblocked runner coming at you. We can't snap the ball early no matter what anybody does. It's got to be more about us. That was just me being angry yesterday. Somebody asked me what happened. I was just being honest with the guys told me coming off the grass.
So to that,
I don't want to make it a snap gate.
Right, no, that's fine.
Which I probably already did.
Clap gate or whatever it is.
Yes.
To that end with Mike, I mean, did he just dump it because he thought it was going to be blown dead, like it was a false start? Or
no, he was trying to throw it at Mike. You see when he threw the ball, he's pointing at, he's throwing at Kyle. He's trying to throw it at Kyle's feet and pointing at Kyle, but Kyle was a little bit further than he wanted him to be.
Is there a world where you tell, like, does it feel like he has to try to do something there other than just spike it in the ground?
Well, the thing about it is,
it's late in the game, game's on the line. Like
the thing about it is, you can't take the sack.
Right.
So he's trying to get it out of his hands and to get the whole quarterback protection, throw it at his feet, yada, yada, yada. Kyle was probably 1 or 2 steps too far. You got to throw it a little bit better than what he did. Right decision, right mindset with unblocked players coming at you because none of our offensive line moved. But we got to get that near eligible offensive players' feet.
To go to Romo, or you're going to be bringing people in? Are we sticking with them? Where are we going with this?
Obviously we got to look at that, and we've started that process already of, we've worked out a bunch of different people, so we'll be able to bring people in and figure out what it's going to be this week. At the end of the day, you got to make that kick. And like we talked about, those press situations aren't built on practice fields. They're built in games, and they're built in that environment.
I mean, some of that, look, the big picture, the problem is that you've kind of lost some cachet because it's been a problem now for 18 months, a year and a half. And I personally don't believe that that's your fault. There are people above you who make those decisions, and I believe they should have been corrected.
I won't ever use that to say it's not my fault. I'm a part of everything that happens here, and we do everything together. So everything that happens, you can put me a part of that as well. I won't ever. We don't have that type of organization. We don't have that type of that mindset. But we got to get it fixed, and it has to be fixed now, and it has to be fixed right now.
Let's get to Divine still being out. I know the snap count between Harrison and JD favored Harrison. Is that something we're going to do going forward? I mean, is he going to start to take more of those snaps and responsibilities?
Obviously it's early in the week, and how we planned it last week. We planned it with the 3-headed monster going out there. Had a little bit of Dime, had a little bit of Harrison a couple weeks ago. Had a little bit of JD, I think, favored out a little bit differently because how the basis of the game was played. Yesterday worked out more even with JD and Harrison getting more of the reps, and he's trending in the direction of earning more rights on the field. And, a lot of credit to, first of all, Ronnie, coming here in training camp being on the practice squad, Devine goes down, and to put himself in that position is hard to do, and he's thriving in and playing well and doing some good things. Obviously JD's doing some good things, but obviously you have to do better. You have to do better in your opportunities and the situations that you get. So we're always going to go with the better players or the people that give us the best chance to win. And right now it's looking that way. Obviously, I know we got to go through the whole process of the game plan, the week, what it looks like. But Ronnie's certainly earning more snaps every single week.
Yeah, I want to go back to third downs really quickly because 25% success rate on third down over the last 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not a one-size-fits-all because obviously these are all different third down scenarios, but what are practical steps that the staff, this team is taking to be better in those situational moments?
So it's hard to put the 2 games in the factor because we're talking about the last game where it was 2 different quarterbacks and we weren't able to run the football. We didn't play well up front. So I'll take that one out. And talk about the one that happened yesterday, we got to put ourselves in more favorable situations to get the third downs. When you go 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 9, any quarterback can tell you, especially the one sitting behind you, how tough those situations are. We want to get those things. We're in more manageable third downs to be able to get those things going, particularly in those opening drives and starting fast. We had a couple drives there where we didn't use a third down. Had a couple drives, and then we got to the red zone. You're able to actually go for it on 4th down. So you got 2-down territory and things of that nature that make those things manageable, things that we can absolutely win. So those are the steps. It's like starting faster, being able to run the football more efficiently, having the ability to have not get behind the stick, so to speak, and really, keeping in that mode. Because when we get in those situations, we're in the third down and medium window. We got a lot better chances of being able to convert those things.
To that end, I know you just mentioned a moment ago, converting more downs would allow you to run the ball. You threw it as twice as much as you passed.
Yes.
It felt like yesterday the game plan, just speculating, was more of like, let's not run Bijan straight ahead or the outside zone. Let's get him out in space already and throw it to him and use that as an extension of the running game. But it feels like the actual running game itself has become stagnant, particularly in the last 2 weeks, and it's not being executed well or schema or whatever it may be. But, if you can't run the ball, you're dead on arrival in this league, aren't you?
Not yesterday. We talked about yesterday and what it looks like, and people playing this football team, have had some issues running the football. We're about to play an opponent that runs the ball really well, and they played Pittsburgh yesterday, and they didn't have a great day running the football. So this team, they got some really good players. They got a really good football team. They do a nice job stopping the run. We knew it would be tough sledding. We got it to the point where we were able to rush the ball 16 times for about a 4.1 average or whatever it was, 4.4 average, whatever it was. And we had to find some space. We had a little more left on the bone out there yesterday. You got to convert those third downs so you get more opportunities so you can have those opportunities to run the football versus a team like that. We did want to definitely get some easy completions to try to supplement the run game, whether it was bubbles or some screen, things of that nature. So we definitely tried to utilize those things. And we got to the point where we gave ourselves a chance to win, and we just got to go win that football game and execute the plan.
One of the areas that you've been struggling in, Raheem, has been the red zone. How important was it to have success down close and get the ball in the end zone?
Yeah, it was great to watch Mike and Drake, go out there and be able to perform and do it at a high level, and to really watch all those guys protect at a very high level for some of the things we had, and then also having the ability to be aggressive on some of the 4th down calls with Drake and Mike. Tried to hit Cal on a couple of those things, but you got to be able to go execute in the red zone in order to give yourself a chance, and that's exactly what they did in the second half.
Is there an expectation as you move forward, how good Drake's been, that you're going to, I know you guys are doing a really good job of moving around so they can't double him. At some point, do you start to expect some bracket coverage on him? Yeah,
he's going to get doubled. That's going to happen. He's going to get doubled, and everybody's going to have to step up. And it's right about that time we need people to step up. So you got to have some people step up, whether it be Mooney, whether it be Cal Pitts, and all the other guys that we got, Bijan. We got a lot of guys out there that can make some things happen. They got to go make it happen for us. So, we can expect those things to happen in the red zone moving forward. But we'll go out there and try to utilize the guys that we have and score as many points as we can.
Going back to the run game, Zach spoke last week about identification issues up front. Was that something that you saw persisting into this game, or did you feel like there was improvement there?
No, much improved, Tori, when it comes to that. Much improved on the run game, the things, the identifications, everything. This was a tough team to run. I could have told you that on Saturday if you had asked. Yeah. We knew that. They're tough to run against, but we definitely went out there and got some things blocked up better. We definitely got some space. We definitely had some miss-ops that we could have had a few more yards on that would have made things look a little bit better or feel a little bit better, but we knew it would be a tough team to run the football on going into it. But you still had to try. You still had to put some, get out there and get some people going and get some things going, and find different ways to move the ball. So that's what they did. Gave us a chance to win, and we didn't win it.
What is the Jalen Walker presence mean for you guys from a personnel standpoint?
It was great to have him back. You know, being able to move him around, that movable piece. He was on the edge. He was in the middle. He was a dropper. He had a couple of significant plays in the game whether it be the 2 sacks that he had, that helped James pick up one ball and help us score in the red zone one time, or it was another one when he got a big time sack with some moves and things of that nature. And his presence, his energy amidst the run and the pass is definitely a sight to see and something that we look forward to seeing more of. Getting him back.
Assuming you'll know more as the week goes on about Chris Lindstrom, Matthew Bergeron, their injuries.
You know, obviously you give those guys to Wednesday to see what's happening. You know, Burge obviously was the ankle yesterday, had to leave out, probably second play or so. Chris made it through most of the game and had to leave out, and their replacements came in, did a pretty good job. You know, I can't complain about that, but look forward to getting those guys back, and we'll know more about that as the week goes.
As you kind of go through the weekend prep, is there like a realm of possibility where you can activate Storm? He's in that 21-day window. Have him at tackle, potentially move Elijah Wilkinson inside, depending on what happens with Chris and Burge. Is that kind of a thought process that y'all have, or y'all feel good about where things were from last night?
That's always a possibility with Storm coming back. You know, you're talking about the guys play significant ball for us, but we have to see what Storm is. You know, obviously he's still in that window, trying to make it back. Wish nothing but the best, and we'll see where he is, and we'll move forward from there. But for sure, Tori, you know, Elijah's played guard for us. He's played tackle for us. And, you know, Storm started tackle for us. Done some of those different things. And obviously, Hayton's has some significant starting time for us and things of that nature. So, you know, all those things are a possibility.
Troy Anderson, status?
No, still in IR. Nothing new. You know, still there.
Is there any, like, realm of possibility that he comes back this year? I'm asking that because...
Troy?
Yeah, Troy. There's just been a lot of confusion from kind of what preseason was being said and now.
You never want to rule it out.
Okay.
You know, but we'll have to just wait and see. You know, nothing new, no window activated, none of those things. You know, still working with our people and getting them right, trying to get them right.
The frustrating, it just seems, I was saying to them earlier, like, it almost feels like if you had the same reason you were losing every week, it's diagnosable and it's fixable, but it seems to be just a different thing each week that comes up and bites you guys. Is it causing extra frustration?
No, because I think that's the National Football League, right? It's like you talk about it every single week, like what things matter, you know, and how do you go fix those things, and how do you figure out how to go win this football game? I think you got a way to win every football game. There's definitely that. And in my opinion, you got to go find those ways to win every football game. And yesterday, we talked about third down being a big criticals down for us. And we failed at that on really both sides of the ball, and still gave ourselves a chance to win that football game. So there's a way to win every single one. We just got to find a way to win them.
Anything else? All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, guys.